Yeah, okay, so there are a lot of things going on here. Okay, I'll go through this with you. The first thing I'm getting is I'm getting this feeling of responsibility. I think no matter what was happening in your emotional life, and I think there were some things going on, some turmoil there, you just had to keep going. You had the responsibility, you had a job, you had people you're taking care of, you had all of these things, and you had to just keep going. It was a little bit like you might have been on autopilot. It was a bit like that. And, you've been here before, I think. I think you've had to kind of push yourself through other things before. You've been through some really hard times before, and here you are again. So I'm also seeing this shift, and it was kind of like a shift in your beliefs. I think you were going along. I think you believed that someone was a certain way. And I think they led you to believe that it was as well. It wasn't just you. You weren't deluding yourself. I think they were telling you, oh, I'm like this, I'm like that. I think they were saying things like, oh, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to be like all the others. I'm going to be like this. I care. I want this and that and the other. And I think you wanted to believe them. Your heart wanted to believe them. So I think even now, your heart might not want to know this or might not want to realize this is actually happening. I think logically you know, and I think you did know at this time, but I think maybe your heart just didn't want to see it. I think that was what was happening. You did come to this realization. You knew what they were actually like. I think whatever happened was that, there was no other way to see this. I think something was presented to you and you're like, well, I just can't keep on pretending this isn't happening. I know it is. I can't do anything about it. My heart wants to imagine it's not happening, but it's right in front of my face. I can't do anything else. I think you knew that this was about trust. You couldn't trust whoever this was. And I think it was about trust. And obviously this sort of thing hurts, when you go through something like this. And but I think as time goes on, if you don't realize this already, I'm not sure when this exactly happened, I think you'll know that this knowledge and finding this out, this is what's going to set you free. Because I think if you hadn't found this out, you might have still been in this situation, or you might still be there now. Now, if you look at this king, he's not taking any rubbish. He's got his sword up. He's saying, no nonsense. I'm logical. I'm not looking at any rubbish. I don't want to hear any excuses. I know what's happening, and I'm going to stand here and I'm going to guard myself. He sees things for what they are. He doesn't see things for what he'd like them to be. And that's what sets him free. Look at these beautiful butterflies behind him. So whether you realize this or not, I'm not sure what stage you're at, whether you're actually fully over this, whether you're still in this with them, but you've had this realization. I think you are very busy, so I don't think you've had time to really either process this or get out of this properly. You might have been, but that's just the impression I'm getting. But I think it's set you free in your mind. Whether you're away from them or not physically, your mind is. Because these butterflies are right near this king's head. So that's how I'm getting that. Okay, so the next card you have, you pass the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, what's standing out to me here is the Sphinx, because he has this sword and he's right under this king. So the king's got this sword, the Sphinx has the sword, and he's just like the king. He's saying, no, I'm guarding myself, no more lies, no more false promises. I'm standing here with this sword and I'm not going to take any more. That's what I'm getting on that, with that, I should say. So yeah, you're going to come to a point, if you haven't already, because it's really hard for me to see which stage you're at. It might be that you're going backwards and forwards a bit. Maybe that's why. But you're going to only look at action. This wheel is about action. It's turning around constantly. Sometimes it goes one way, sometimes it goes the other way, but it's action. It's constantly moving. You're not going to look at words anymore. You're going to look at action. That's all. And that's what's going to set you on this new course. So this card can be all about changes of direction. And I think you've changed direction after this realization. And again, I don't know if you physically moved away. You might still be there. You might not have distanced yourself properly from this person, because I keep on seeing these responsibilities around you. So that was what had to come first, your responsibilities. So you might have just been going along again on this autopilot, really busy, saying, I'll deal with that when I have time. I'll deal with that when I have time. But my head's dealt with it. It's in my head. I know what I want to do. Mentally, emotionally, I've turned a corner, but maybe physically I haven't quite done that yet. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. So you may have now, I don't know, but this is kind of what I'm seeing here. So yeah, you probably checked out mentally, you probably checked out emotionally well before you could check out physically. Yeah, I'm seeing all these things you had to do. Look at this card. These characters around the edges, they're reading. So you had work, maybe you had study, maybe you had teaching, maybe you were helping someone, maybe you were taking care of something, maybe you had all of them all at the same time. You were responsible for a lot of different things. You had things on the side that were going on. This is busy. This wheel's very busy. It's turning around. It's like, I can't get off. I'm busy. And so I think you were very busy, had all these responsibilities, and maybe you couldn't quite deal with this person yet and what you had to do. It might be that you had to physically move away to a new place and you couldn't quite do that. Or it might be that they had to and you couldn't quite get around to kind of facing them and telling them this. I don't know. But you're going to have to face this eventually if this is all resonating with you. So the last card you have for your past is, yeah, the Seven of Swords. Okay, horrible card. This is just summing this up, really. This person's not, they're not honest. They don't have the right attitude. They're promising things they can't deliver. I'm seeing that. They said, I'm not going to be like the others. I'm not going to be like that. Actually, they were. And again, I'm seeing in this card, this is interesting. I don't know if you can see there are two swords there. So, yeah, what I'm seeing with these two swords that are behind this man that he's looking back to is I'm seeing you and this other person you're taking care of. So it might be that you have a child, or that you're in a family, or that it's you and someone else you're taking care of, and you're a unit. And this man is looking back at you, or this woman, or whoever this is, but this is a man in this card, so I'm saying man. And you're there, you're solid, the person who's with you is solid, the person you're taking care of, but this other person isn't. They're kind of roaming around, skipping around, laughing. They're not stable. They don't have the right attitude. You and this other person does. So that's what I'm seeing in this card. And I think this person's big problem is that they have no real sense of direction. They have no real sense of stability. They have no real sense of this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing. Everyone knows what the right and the wrong thing is, but they don't want to exercise that. They know deep down, they know that, but they're not like that. They're kind of all over the place morally. They're all over the place with everything. They don't see integrity as being very important to them, which is really, really sad. So they're kind of like the wild card running all around, and you and this person you're taking care of is like, or are like, I should say, you're both like the stable people who are kind of stuck in the ground, like these two swords, and they're kind of running all around. That's what I'm seeing in that card. And maybe that was when you realized what they were like. So the first card you have your presence, the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm seeing something completely different here. Obviously, this is about work, and again, it's showing me your responsibilities. You're a hard worker. You had all these things to do. This man's looking down, so I don't think you even had time to look up and deal with this properly. I keep on seeing this very, very, very busy time. Now, there's someone else I'm seeing here. I don't know if they're at your workplace or around your workplace. I think they probably are. I'm seeing love here, or it might just be a bit of a crush actually, because the feeling I'm getting is around this is that they're not all that sure of themselves. They're a little bit unsure of themselves. They're a bit worried. They might be thinking, you know, I don't know if I'm what you're looking for, or they're worried that they're not what you're looking for, I should say. So And I think they can also probably feel this other person's energy around you, because it is still around you. I can't see what phase you're in with this, whether you're still with them, whether you've moved out, whether you're still talking to them. I don't know what stage in this process you're at, but they're still around you in some way. They're around your energy, whether you're thinking about them, whether they're thinking about you, whether you're talking, I don't know. But this other person that has a crush on you, they're trying to get you to notice them, I think. They're trying to do that in small ways, in subtle ways. I'm just looking at this tree, and I'm just looking at the way these coins are kind of going up the tree. It's almost like a lighthouse. It's tall, it has these golden coins everywhere, and they're reflective. So it might be that they're trying to show you how good they are at their work. They're trying to kind of say, oh, I did this, I achieved this, look how good I am, all of that kind of thing. I'm very capable, I'm very stable, I'm this and I'm that. And that's how they like to stand out, I think, through their work. So that might give you a clue as to who this is. But again, they're not saying anything to you. I think they can feel this other person's energy around you. You do as well. So you're not quite through this yet. That's what I'm seeing. Not ready for anyone else. So the next card you have your presence, the 9 of Swords. Yes. So, okay, this is a very heavy reading. I don't mean it to be like that. Okay. This is how this person's actually feeling, this person in the King of Swords. You know what? They do have regrets. They know what they've done. So to you, it might look as if they're like the man in the 7 of Swords, doing the wrong thing, but sort of skipping away, dancing away, smiling as if everything's fine. And that's what I thought as well, because I could see that. And it looks like you're the stable one, and they're kind of running around doing the wrong thing. And I think that's what's happening on the outside, but I think maybe on the inside they feel a little bit more like this. So yeah, they do have regrets. They're probably not showing it on the outside. I'm also seeing some kind of loss around them, something that's separate from the situation that's going on between you. It might be some kind of job loss or demotion or something like that. It's something. You might not even know about this, or maybe you do. Maybe that's one of the things that made you realize that they're not a responsible person. Maybe they did something wrong in their workplace. Maybe they stole, or it might be something serious like that, because look at what I'm seeing in the 7 of Swords, so it might be something like that. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. So, okay, let me get... Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I don't know what happened. I just started coughing. Oh, okay. Oh. Right, sorry, I'm so sorry about that. I don't edit anything, you can tell. So, okay, so, yeah, so something that's happened. Okay, so yeah, something's happened in the workplace. And I think it's something about them not being very reliable, or it's something that they've done in their workplace. So that's bringing them down as well. So that's probably why they're feeling like the 9 of Swords. I'm so sorry about that cough. I can't help it. It just suddenly happened to me. Okay, so yeah, the sad thing here is they want to change. They do want to change, but I don't think they know how to do that. I'm looking at these red roses on this quilt, and red roses can represent manifestation. So they want to change, they want to manifest that, but they can't. They can't do that, and they can't do that by just thinking. They need to act. And this is a theme all the way through this. They say they're going to do things, they do whatever, but they don't act. They don't act on it. Or they don't, they promise things and then they don't do what they're promised. So you can't really trust this person. Maybe that's what they're doing in the workplace. I don't know. But yeah, they want to change, but they can't just change by imagining they're going to change. It's not going to work. They have to act. And that's what I'm seeing in the Wheel of Fortune. You're not going to take words anymore. You're only going to take actions. But they are feeling this. They're not letting you know this, but they're really feeling this. They're feeling very sad about all this that's happening, everything with you, everything in their work, all of that. Once again, I apologize for my cough. So the last card you have for your present is the King of Cups. Okay, I think this might be a bit of a message to you because this is all very, very emotionally heavy. So if it's all resonating, see if you can reach out to someone, anyone you can trust, someone close to you. I think there is someone close to you who you can talk to. If you look at this king, he's on an island. He's all by himself. You know, he's surrounded by water, so that represents emotions. So he has all these emotions around him, but he's sitting there by himself and he's not talking to anyone. So if you're holding all these emotions in, and you're trying to just, get on with your daily life, and if you're pretending everything's fine, don't do that. Talk to someone. There's no need for you to be carrying this all by yourself. Whatever stage you're at, I can still see this person around your energy. So whether they're talking to you, I don't know. Whether you're still with them, whether you're still living with them, it might be that. You still have all of that to process. You still have that to work through. You have the logistics to sort out, I think. So the message here is, don't be an island. You have support around you. You have people you can trust around you. Of course, be careful of who you share things with. But I think there is someone, I'm seeing a woman actually, someone who you can trust totally. I think you need to get this out in some way. So get this out to them. Just sit down, make sure it's somewhere private. Don't talk to them about this, in front of anyone else. That's really important for you, I think. But get this out. Get it off your chest. And they might help you as well. I think they will. So the first card you have you features the Five of Cups. Yes. Okay, yeah, this is just so heavy and negative. I don't mean it to be like this, but yeah. I think you might just be taking some time out. I think you're going to take some time out just to reflect on everything. I don't think you're going to have a lot of time. You're not going to have much physical time to yourself because I can see that all over here, how busy you are. But I think you will carve out some time. And I think this is just going to be really, really good for you to do that. I know this is a really negative card, but I think you've been carrying all this stress and these emotions and everything else around with you, inside you, and you haven't had a chance to just stop and process everything. Now, obviously, when you process all of this, when you do stop and you just kind of think about this, it's going to hurt. There's no way I can say it won't. But to get to the other side of this, to get over this bridge that's in this card, you're going to have to move past all of this in some way. And the only way to do that is to sit, think about this, recognize what's happened, and then you can move on properly. And maybe you still haven't worked out all the logistics of physically moving on, because I keep on seeing that all through here. But if you haven't done that, yeah, you do need to sort that out at some time. That's a big priority for you. You might just have to take some time off. You might have to take some time out. If you have a child, you might have to, ask a relative or someone to take care of them for a while. Something so you can just get yourself through this logistically and emotionally and just move forward from this. Also, have a look at this man. This is really interesting because I was seeing you and someone else you're taking care of, maybe a child, maybe not. I was seeing you both in the Seven of Swords, these two swords that were kind of standing up in the ground and kind of being left behind. Now, in this card, there are two cups behind this man, two upright cups. So maybe it's the group of three, which to me is like a family. Maybe it's the family that's kind of fallen down, and maybe you're thinking of having a happy family unit with this person and this other person. And this card showing me that the group of three is spilt. It's not working for you. But the group of two, you and this person you're caring for, is upright. That works. I hope this makes sense to you because this is really interesting. So you and this other person, whether this is a child or whoever you're taking care of, the two of you work perfectly, beautifully together, but not with this other person. So I think once you see that, once you sort all this out in your head, once you get the logistics all sorted out, that's when you're going to be able to move over that bridge. And there's a beautiful, beautiful castle over the other side. That's stability. That's the home. And that's the home for you and this person you're taking care of. I really hope that makes sense. If you're trying to hang on to someone who deep down you know isn't right for you, you might not be, or you might be, because I'm just seeing you're not quite through this yet. If that's the situation you're in, the message is, it's probably not what you want to hear, but this is what I'm seeing. You need to move on from this person. That's what I'm seeing there. So, okay, the next card you have, your future, is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, I know this is specific, but if this is all resonating, this is what I want you to know. If you have a child you're taking care of, or if there's someone else you're taking care of, might not be a child again, I know I keep saying that, but I'm seeing you taking care of someone all through this reading, and I've seen it before in your readings. They appreciate you, they appreciate what you do for them, and this is showing me that if you do go off on your own with this person, just you and them, not this person who's dishonest, you and the person you're caring for, I'm talking about, and you do separate from the other person in the King of Swords, or if you already have, or if you're still worrying about this, you're going to be absolutely fine without this person. More than fine. Because who wants to be around someone you can't trust? Who wants to be around someone who promises things and never delivers? Nobody. Nobody. You're going to be so much more content without them. You're going to be so much happier. Look at this woman. She's in a beautiful garden. She has everything she needs, and she's nurturing. She's taking care of someone. So it's probably going to take some time before you can actually get to this point where you're so content, but you'll get there. You'll get there. But you have to work at this. You have to work at this logistically. You have to get some time on your own, like what I was seeing in the Five of Cups, and work through this. The other thing I'm seeing here is really good news, finally. Yeah, there might be a pregnancy. There might be a pregnancy announcement coming soon, or a birth announcement. I think this is someone who's really, really wanted this. I think they've really wished for this for a long, long time. I think they've been trying to manifest this for a long, long, long time. Look at these red roses. So, you know, I think they probably already know this and they just haven't announced this. I think they're keeping this to themselves. But there's a lot of happiness around this. There's a lot of contentment around this. It's absolutely huge. So if you haven't heard about this yet, you're probably going to hear about this soon. There's going to be a lot of celebrations, and it's beautiful, beautiful, happy news. So that's going to really be lovely for you as well. Okay, so the last card you have, your future, is the Ace of Pentacles. I'm so glad you have this in the end, because this has been such a heavy reading. It really has. Again, this can be about pregnancy, fertility. What I'm seeing here is this is going to be the start of a more stable time for you. After you've gotten over this bridge, after you've done the logistic changes, after you've moved on from this person, you've faced what you need to face, you've dealt with all of that, then you're going to have the stability. And the stability is going to be with you and this person you're taking care of, not this other person who you can't trust. They just don't say stability to me. I just have to say that. So I'm seeing a lot of different stages. I'm seeing that you might already be away from this person, or you might not. So there might be some backwards and forwards. So this is what I have to say. If you are still with this person, they are not saying stability to me. Nothing about them says stability. Not one thing in this reading says that to me. So please remember that. Please keep that in mind. I really think they're not a good person to have around you. I know this is specific. I know people are going to say, don't interfere in people's relationships. If I see all of this, it's very obvious here. It's very obvious in this reading. I must say this. So that's what I'm saying. So Virgo, I won't say I hope this resonated, but these readings obviously can't always resonate with everyone. They're general readings. But again, if you like this reading, you probably didn't, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to, and thank you so much for watching.